In 11.1, we're going to see some of our more basic area formulas and just kind of start this idea of areas of polygons and even non-polygons, and then perimeter as well. So area is just kind of defined as the amount of space inside of a polygon. Area of a square, we just know that's length times width, which is for a square, side times side, or s squared. I'm not really worried about that. The area congruence postulate just says that if two polygons are congruent, they got to have the same area. So obviously both of these green rectangles are the same area if they're congruent. And then we also have the area addition postulate. That just says the area of a region is the sum of its non-overlapping parts. Basically saying if you wanted to find the area of this thing, what you could do is find the area of this triangle and add it to the rectangle, and that would give you the area of the whole thing. Now I went kind of fast through this page because these are just postulates. These are things that you would assume to be true, but now we have defined them as postulates, so they are true. So the other three formulas we're going to be looking at today are area of any rectangle, any parallelogram, and any triangle. So these ones you're actually probably pretty familiar with. The area of a rectangle is base times height. You can also use the length and width terminology. Remember that the base is not always on bottom. This could be the base and this could be the height. That'd be fine because you know that you can orient this however you want, right? So now the base is the short side. Base is just, you decide what it is, and the height is perpendicular to the base. For a parallelogram, you actually have the exact same formula. So it's just base times height, and the height we're talking about is this vertical height, not the slant height. So it's this red thing, that's our height. The reason that this formula works is because if you were to take that little corner and bring it over here, you see this is the exact same rectangle as above. A triangle, the formula as we know is 1/2 base times height. We've seen that before. To illustrate why two triangles make a rectangle, which is base times height, but we only want one of them. So that's why your formula is 1/2 base times height, because you only want half of that rectangle's area. So just a word on height. Remember, if the base is down here, the height is a perpendicular line. So the height here for this triangle would be right here. The height for this triangle, this is like the Pride Rock. The height is actually that measurement right there. It does not have to touch the segment that forms the base. It just has to be perpendicular to the base. And then here the height would be in the triangle right there. So however you want to measure height is fine, as long as it's perpendicular to the side of the base. So here we're just kind of getting into our basic problems. Find the perimeter and area of this figure. Well, perimeter, let's start there. That's just, we just add up around the outside. Remember, the 8 is not a part of our perimeter. So the perimeter is 10 plus 21 plus 17, which is 31 plus 17, which is like 48 units. Area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So 1/2, the base is 21, and the height is 8. So our area is that. Half of 8 is 4. 4 times 21 is 84 square units. So if you're not given inches or meters or centimeters, you just put units. Area is square units. Perimeter is just the unit. For this parallelogram, the perimeter is 30 plus 20 plus, since this is a parallelogram, we know this has to be 30, and that's got to be 20. I think that's 100 units. The area of this thing is equal to base times height, which is 30 is the base, and the height is not 20, but indeed 17. So I think that's 540 square units. No, 510. Bad mental math. 510. I like that better. What if we were asked to find the area of this blue parallelogram? So if you want, you can pause the video, try it on your own. There's about 4 correct ways to do it, But if you want to pause it, try it out, and then I'll go through the way I will do it. So I think the easiest way is just knowing that the area of a parallelogram is 1/2 base times height. Excuse me, just base times height, not a triangle. So the question is, what do you want your base to be? So if your base is 12, the height is 4. 4 right there. Base is 12, height is 4. And to maybe think through this, you might need to flip the picture in your mind. But we have a 12 there and a 4 there. Never mind the back picture. So when you do the formula this way, area is 12 times 4, which is 48 units. Square units. Alternatively, you could have said the base is 6 and the height is 8. If the base is 6 and the height is 8, that's letting this be our base and our height be 8, that kind of Pride Rock height. Area is 6 times 8, which, once you know it, is also 48 square units. So either way you did it, you get the same answer. So hopefully you got 48. I've even seen people use this triangle, make like a rectangle here. It's a lot of work to do it that way, but you sure could. We're down to just 2 more problems, just kind of looking at some word problems, or problems that have words and no pictures. So the base of a triangle is twice its height. The area of the triangle is 36 inches squared. Find the base and the height. So you can draw a picture for this if you want. Triangle, here's our base, here's our height. It said the base of a triangle is twice its height. So if you let the height be x, the base would be double x, or 2x. If area is 1/2 base times height, our area is 36, our base is 2x, and our height is 1x. Now we just have to solve that equation. Half of 2 is just 1, so those kind of cancel each other out. X times x is x squared. Take the square root of both sides. X is 6. Problem did not ask for x, though. It asked for what the base was and what the height is. So we would say the base is 2 times 6, or 12, and the height is 6. And these are all in inches. That'd be how I would probably do this problem. Just label the height with an x and the base with double that. Another one kind of like that. We're told a parallelogram has an area of 153 square inches, a height of 17 inches. What is the length of the base? So area is base times height. So it's pretty easy, actually. You just say 153 equals b times 17. Divide both sides by 17. B is 9, so 9 inches for our base. And that wraps us up for 11.1, just some formulas and playing with the formulas.